When starting my project of creating a music video, I had to think carefully about how I wanted to produce and display my work. With so many technological options and softwares out there to choose, I knew that from the start I had to ensure that I picked the correct option for me. I'll start with telling you what everything was made on. I decided to use a MacBook Pro to produce and store all of my work. I have had many other laptops and softwares in the past, but I can guarantee that this is the best I've used yet. By already having a MacBook Pro meant that I already maintained a broad understanding of how the systems worked. I knew how to navigate and correctly use all of the software. This meant that all my work was produced quicker, as already knowing the knowledge and not having to learn how to use the systems first. Another factor that affected my decision was that I'd already started creating work on the school's computers, which luckily were Apple Macs as well. This meant that the link between transferring work and documents between school and home had been made a lot easier. I use primarily Apple softwares from Macs to Apple TV, therefore I knew that connecting all of my work together would not cause me any hassle. I also chose to use my Mac due to the pure efficiency and speed of the software compared to others, such as Windows or Acer. Along with all of these benefits, another added extra was that using Macs, they came with built-in software programs such as QuickTime Player, Image Capture and Grab, that I will explain later how they've helped me a great deal during my process. After deciding this, I had to choose how I was going to display all of my work. Last year, to present my work, I used a website called Blogger. Although it did the job, I found it incredibly hard to navigate around, having to go from tab to tab or page to page just to find a piece of work I was looking for. This just ended up wasting time and causing stress. It was also incredibly hard to upload images and videos. It would take a lengthy amount of time just to simply upload an image, and then even more hassle positioning and resizing it just to fit the page. When uploading videos, if created in the wrong format or too big of a size file, the website would simply reject it, and you would have to find another way of uploading it or simply recreate the file. All of these issues I did not want to occur again this year, so I've decided to use a different system. I've decided to use a website making program called Wix. Wix I have found to be an amazing help in the support of presenting my work to a standard I'm pleased with. You can navigate to any page from a single home button. You can allow a tab bar with drop downs of all the pages you've made, and it's simply a lot quicker to navigate around. When uploading images and videos, it has been incredibly quicker and easier, giving me freedom of how to present my information. Having a selection of galleries and options to present my work allowed me to become more creative and independent with how I wanted my work to look. It allowed me to include interactive links and buttons to pages and documents, allowing me to create simple links to fellow group members' pages when needed. It also gave me the opportunity to try and meet higher criteria of grey boundaries by keeping my audience engaged and producing my work in an interactive and interesting approach. Linking on from this, another HTML program I used very frequently linking to Wix was YouTube. I used this to upload all of my work formatted as videos. It was a simple and easy way to store and present my work. Having all of my videos in the same place, I could simply link them to any website by just copying the HTML embed code and presenting it this way. As well as just uploading to YouTube, I also used it heavily throughout my research and development stages. I used YouTube to find videos and clips to show as examples and allowing me to gain a better knowledge about professional music videos. I used it to gain camera shot ideas and clip inspiration. If I didn't have YouTube to simply watch all of these resources, I would have struggled just gaining knowledge and research about my chosen genre. The last HTML website I used was Clip Converter. I used this to easily download and convert video files. I would use the embed code of a video and transform it from an MP4 to an MP3 file and solely use it for just the sound. Or I would download it in an MP4 style, have a physically stored version of the video on my desktop. It helped dramatically, as within seconds I could have an extensive amount of resources ready to see for my research and planning. Without having the use of downloaded clips that I've selected, I would have struggled to constantly relate back to my research. When using this website, downloaded clips are automatically stored on your preferred place for storage and iTunes. iTunes has also been a huge help throughout my process. I've been able to download paid songs, which means I can transfer them throughout all of my devices, meaning I have them constantly on the go. This helped dramatically when using Paolo Nutini's song that we've used for our music video. This helped, therefore, as whether we were filming our video or simply trying to analyse the lyrics, I constantly had it at my disposal. It was a very easy and simple way to drag all my videos and music into one place by making a playlist so I could organise all my documents I needed. Moving on to the built-in systems I spoke about earlier that came with the Apple Mac system. Firstly, QuickTime Player has been a massive help throughout the whole making of the music video. I've been able to record step by step of how I've made each of my media products. I could then use this to represent the construction side of the project. I also used it to record different sets of music videos. This enabled me to be looking at several examples of music videos at the same time and recording them all. This allowed me to create split screens and allowed me to have a connection between the work a lot easier. I could also record audio clips, which I could then simply upload to YouTube or SoundCloud and refer back to them throughout the work. One of our prime examples of this is when we recorded our conversation planning. It was simply a conversation between my group, but we therefore would like it recorded for when planning our music video. Therefore, QuickTime Player allowed this to be a very easy way to record the information. All recordings were of a very high resolution and therefore made my research and planning and evaluation questions to a very high standard of work. Another tool included with the Mac is Grab. Grab is essentially Mac's version of print screen on a Windows computer. However, Grab has allowed me to simply select the objects I want to copy, opposed to copying the whole screen then editing it down to the selection I want. Grab allows different options of a selection tool, window tool, screen tool, or timed screen tool. I found this helped me massively, especially the timed screen tool. It allowed me to click moving images or simply hover over a drop-down list at the same time as making a print screen. Whether I was copying clip ideas from music videos or step-by-step of my magazine construction, it's been a massive help throughout the process. The only downside to Grab is that the images are saved in a TIFF format. When uploading images to Wix, they must be in a JPEG format. This meant I had to duplicate and resave every Grab I'd created, which did take up extra time, but didn't cause too much inconvenience in the end. Next I will tell you about how we all actually filmed the video. We decided to use a Nikon D3-100 camera. With 14.2 megapixels and the ability to film HD movies, we all agreed that this was the best camera to use. The camera also came with features such as an anti-shake system, which would help us massively when it came to handheld shots, and it also has an AF focus point of 11 areas. This meant that we could automatically set the focus being on the lead singer, and the camera would track the focus on him even if he moved around and the camera didn't. This would help us dramatically when trying to get the intimate close-up shots. We also used the camera for taking the images of our ancillary tasks. They allowed us to capture clean, sharp images, which helped when enlarging the images to a bigger scale for the magazine advert. Therefore, there was no shock when people told us that our video and images were to a very high standard. We then next had to decide the program we wanted to edit our clips on. We had a choice of Final Cut, iMovie and Premiere Pro. We immediately decided that none of us were confident enough with how to use Final Cut, and therefore ruled that program out. We then had to decide what we would use between iMovie and Premiere Pro. We concluded to using Premiere Pro due to the extensive amount of editing tools compared to iMovie. If we wanted to create the most professional looking video, Premiere Pro was the program to use. Premiere Pro allowed me to use several features many other programs did not obtain. Features such as colour correction. This allowed me to make clips more professional by editing out any harsh lighting or any imperfections made whilst filming. Another feature was that I could create several different layers of both audio and video at the same time. This allowed us to overlay images and clips, making our transitions smoother. It was easier, therefore, when adding texts and images. This became a massive help when adding our opening titles and our MTV Rocks logo. The resizing and positioning was also incredibly easy, allowing us to finish our work a lot quicker and to a very good standard. Another benefit was the razor and erase tool. This meant that we could simply cut and chop clips where we wanted to at whatever time. We could go into in-depth detail about how we wanted our clips to look and where we wanted them to start and end. The program also comes with a wide range of transitions available, therefore simply clicking and dragging it onto the clip we wanted. This therefore sped up the process and allowed us to create a more professional look, also helping with our time management skills. We could also render our video as we went along, therefore we could re-watch the video whenever we wanted and it'd be at a very high quality. Therefore, after reviewing all of the benefits, we're very happy with the choice of Premiere Pro above any other program. Finally, the last program we used was Adobe Photoshop. We used this to create our auxiliary tasks. When creating the advert, we decided that this was the best program to use, as we had a very extensive knowledge due to our prior use at RAS work for creating our magazines. However, we also knew that it shone above any other program due to the effects and adjustment tools that you could use. Firstly, it was perfect for editing our main background image. We could use the Liquify tool to edit and manipulate the image itself. We then used the adjustment tools such as brightness and contrast, hue and saturation, and played around with the curves tool, all helping to edit and make the image look more professional. It also was very handy when creating text boxes, shapes, and design features. When adding the shapes, we had the ability to change the opacity and colours of the design and the design of the shapes again, working towards making our products look as professional as possible. It came with an extensive amount of fonts and colours to choose from, allowing us to select the perfect one suited for our advert. There are also handy tools such as the colour picker. This meant that we could replicate the exact colour over and over again to ensure that our house style was common throughout. Therefore, to conclude, I believe that every system and program has helped us along the process at some point and has allowed our work to be presented and created in an incredibly high standard. Thank you for watching.
Slow down, lie down. Remember, it's just you and